On November 18, 2025, the U.S. House of Representatives voted overwhelmingly, 427-1, to pass a bipartisan bill requiring the Justice Department to release all files related to convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. The lone no vote came from Republican Representative Clay Higgins of Louisiana. A strong supporter of former President Donald Trump, the bill aims to make public all unclassified records, communications, and investigative materials concerning Epstein and his co-conspirator Ghislaine Maxwell within 30 days of becoming law. This vote follows months of political resistance, including opposition from President Trump and House Speaker Mike Johnson, both of whom eventually conceded to the growing momentum behind the bill. Trump announced he would sign the bill if it passes the Senate, which it did unanimously shortly after the House vote. The legislation includes provisions to protect victims' privacy and ongoing investigations, but prohibits withholding information due to embarrassment or political sensitivity. Survivors of Epstein's abuse and many lawmakers hailed the vote as a crucial step toward accountability after years of government failure. Higgins opposed the bill, citing concerns that it abandons 250 years of criminal justice procedure and risks harming innocent people such as witnesses and family members. This historic vote reflects intense public and political pressure for transparency and justice regarding Epstein's crimes, according to reports from the Associated Press, CBS News, and CNN. The significance of the House vote lies in its near-unanimous bipartisan support, a rare occurrence given the bill's contentious history. For months, Republican leadership, including President Trump and Speaker Mike Johnson, resisted efforts to bring the bill to the floor, with Trump initially dismissing the matter as a hoax. However, mounting pressure from survivors of Epstein's abuse advocacy groups and a bipartisan coalition of lawmakers forced a discharge petition to bypass leadership control and secure a vote. Survivors gathered outside the Capitol, sharing their stories and demanding transparency, underscoring the human impact behind the legislation. Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene, a Republican and longtime Trump loyalist, praised the survivors' resilience and framed the vote as a fight against powerful interests, including the president himself. The House Oversight Committee had already released thousands of pages of documents revealing Epstein's connections to influential figures worldwide, intensifying calls for full disclosure. The bill's passage signals a shift in political will to confront Epstein's legacy and address systemic failures in protecting victims, as detailed by the Associated Press and OPB. Representative Clay Higgins, the sole dissenting vote, publicly explained his opposition on social media, stating the bill abandons 250 years of criminal justice procedure and risks injuring innocent people such as witnesses, alibi providers, and family members. Higgins, who chairs a subcommittee that subpoenaed the Justice Department for Epstein files, argued that the bill's broad disclosure could lead to harm if sensitive information is released to the media. His concerns echoed those of Speaker Mike Johnson, who warned of unintended consequences from disclosing parts of federal investigations typically kept private. Higgins indicated he would support a revised bill that better protects victims' privacy and innocent parties. Despite his opposition, Higgins remains a prominent figure in Republican politics. Known for his far-right views and strong support for Trump, his vote highlights ongoing tensions within the GOP over transparency and the handling of sensitive information related to Epstein, as reported by CBS News and Wikipedia. Following the House vote, the Senate moved swiftly to approve the bill unanimously, with Senate Majority Leader John Thune indicating the upper chamber's readiness to act. Thune previously expressed trust in the Justice Department to release information, but acknowledged the bill's passage in the House made Senate approval likely. The legislation requires the Justice Department to release all relevant files within 30 days of enactment, allowing redactions only for victims' personal information, ongoing investigations, or national security concerns. The bill prohibits withholding records due to embarrassment, reputational harm, or political sensitivity, including for government officials or public figures. President Trump, who had initially opposed the bill, reversed his position and pledged to sign it, though questions remain about the timing and completeness of the release. The bipartisan sponsors warned against Senate amendments that could dilute the bill's transparency goals. This rapid legislative movement reflects heightened public demand for accountability and transparency in the Epstein case, according to CNN and OPB. The release of the Epstein files is expected to provide unprecedented insight into the financier's criminal activities and his connections to powerful individuals, including political figures and global elites. The House Oversight Committee had already published thousands of pages of documents from Epstein's estate, revealing ties to Wall Street, political leaders, and even former President Trump. The file's disclosure aims to address long-standing demands from survivors and the public for justice and transparency after years of perceived government inaction. However, survivors express frustration over the politicization of their fight, with some criticizing President Trump for making the issue partisan. Rep. Jenna Lisa Jones, a survivor, urged the president to stop politicizing the matter, emphasizing the trauma endured by victims. The bill's passage marks a rare bipartisan consensus on a sensitive issue, but the full impact will depend on how the Justice Department manages the release and redactions. The unfolding developments will continue to draw national attention as the files become public, according to reports from the Associated Press, CBS News, and CNN.